Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Karnataka to launch in transformative infrastructure projects enhancing urban and regional connectivity at the KSR railway station. He flagged off 3 Vande Bharat express trains, Bengaluru, Belagavi, Amritsar, Shri Mata Vaishno Devi, Katra and Nagpur, Pune, boosting intercity travel with faster and modern services. The Prime Minister also interacted with school children aboard the Vande Bharat Express in Bengaluru. The children expressed their excitement and gratitude for the opportunity to meet and interact with him. Further, PM Narendra Modi inaugurated the 19-kilometer yellow line of Bengaluru's Metro Phase 2 from RV Road to Bomasandra, costing 7,160 crore, expanding the city's metro network to over 96 kilometers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also took a metro ride to Electronic City and interacted with school children aboard the newly inaugurated metro line. Amid drumbeats and joyous chants, PM Modi interacted and waved at the people who had gathered at the metro station to greet the Prime Minister. These initiatives, strengthening India's transport infrastructure, align with global urban mobility trends, fostering economic growth and connectivity, while drawing international attention to India's infrastructure ambitions. As Prime Minister Modi travelled through Bengaluru during his Karnataka visit on Sunday, hundreds of people gathered on the side of the road to welcome him to the city. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also addressed a public event in Bengaluru. PM Modi acknowledged Bengaluru's identity among the world's major cities and said that to compete globally, India is focusing on modern infrastructure development to make cities smart and efficient. Take a listen.
आज बेंगलुरु की पहचान दुनिया के बड़े सिटीज के साथ होती है। हमें ग्लोबली कॉम्पीट भी करना है, इतना ही नहीं, लीड भी करना है। हम तभी आगे निकलेंगे जब हमारे शहर स्मार्ट होंगे, फास्ट होंगे, एफिशिएंट होंगे। इसलिए आज मॉडर्न इंफ्रा के लिए प्रोजेक्ट पूरे कराने पर हमारा इतना जोर है।
Prime Minister Modi credited India's rapid economic growth over the past 11 years to the mantra of reform, perform and transform and honest efforts. Listen in.
आज भारत दुनिया की फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग मेजर इकोनॉमी है। पिछले 11 इयर्स में हमारी इकोनॉमी 10वें नंबर से टॉप 5 में पहुंच गई। हम बहुत तेजी से टॉप 3 इकोनॉमी बनने की ओर आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। ये स्पीड हमें कैसे मिली है? ये स्पीड हमें रिफॉर्म, परफॉर्म ट्रांसफॉर्म की स्पिरिट से मिली है। ये स्पीड हमें साफ नीयत और ईमानदार प्रयासों से मिली है। आप याद करिए 2014 में मेट्रो सिर्फ 5 शहरों तक सीमित थी, 5 सिटीज। अब 24 सिटीज में 1000 किलोमीटर से ज्यादा मेट्रो नेटवर्क है। भारत अब दुनिया का तीसरा सबसे बड़ा मेट्रो नेटवर्क वाला देश बन गया है।
All right, you just heard what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said. And on this, I have been joined by Professor Manoj Chaudhary, who is Vice Chancellor, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, joining us live on the
Good
broadcast.
afternoon.
Sir, a very good afternoon to you. To begin with, sir, when we hear about Bengaluru, the word Bengaluru, the city Bengaluru, one thing which comes to our mind is the traffic, the congestion in traffic. But I believe after today, this statement, this particular image of that city will vanish soon, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated the yellow line and it will ease traffic congestion in the city. How do you react to that, sir?
Of course, having lived in Bangalore for 21 years myself, I can relate to what you mentioned and what the impact of the Prime Minister's action today on inaugurating the line, the new line from Electronic City to RV Road that will do for the city of Bangalore. And the entire urban transportation in Bangalore that is getting transformed with the introduction of metro and with Bangalore Metro's expansion to 96 kilometers. I think it's a very, very significant step in the day of Bangalore.
Definitely. Sir, also, indeed, it's a city which has put India on the global tech map. PM Modi also hailed the city and he said that it is developing as the symbol of new India. How do you see that? How do you see this?
Absolutely. Today, when we look at our service industry, the in export segment, in the IT export, 30% of the exports are coming from Bangalore, a city that has more than 4 million people who are already working in the tech sector. More than 700 global capability centers are already established. The who's who in the technology world today have an office in Bangalore. Bangalore is a center for a large number of unicorns, a large proportion of unicorns in India. They have been set up in Bangalore. Therefore, Bangalore not only has the companies, technology centers, the talent, the population that can support it, but also has all the right ecosystem in terms of whether venture funding for startups, whether the new technology development. Not only that, Bangalore has always been one of the important technology capitals. For example, it had Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. It has important units from DRDO set up there. It has Indian Institute of Science there. And therefore, historically also, if you look at Bangalore gas turbine units and so on, Bangalore has always been one of the technology capitals in India. And with the multinationals in all the technology sectors that have now set up their big centers, capability centers there. It is home to the largest talent population. And I think that is a backbone of India's movement as when we talk about Bangalore as a new Silicon Valley. It is indeed true because there is a talent, there is a capital, there is technology.
Definitely. And also, do you agree to the fact that technology is the new in, be it any sector, and with India's vision of Vikasit Bharat, India is poised to manufacture everything under the sun, really soon?
Completely agree. If you look at India's growth story, today we are the 4th largest economy and we are going to soon become the 3rd largest economy. If you look at our pillars, one of the most important pillar of our growth story is infrastructure, which is not only physical in terms of railway, aviation, metro, shipping, and so on, but a large part is also based on digital. Our DPI, for example, digital public infrastructure is very, very significant. Today, you look at the UPI, more than 1 trillion transactions are taking place every month basis. If you look in, for example, AI mission, India is leading that. If you look in semiconductor mission, there are more than 6 semiconductor units that have already been announced within 3 years of India semiconductor mission being announced. And therefore, if you look, in all aspects. If you look in railways, we are producing locomotives and exporting them. If you look at Vande Bharat trains, they are the examples of the technological marvels. If you look at recently, for example, opened up Pamban Bridge, the first vertical lift sea bridge. If you
Yes.
look at Chenab Bridge, if you look at Anji Bridge, everything is a technology marvel. And every aspect, if you look at Operation Sindhu, if India
Yeah.
achieved significant victory within 3 days
Yeah.
of 22nd April attack, we took revenge within 23 minutes. It was based on our superior air defense system. It was based on BrahMos missile that we had, and more importantly, everything that we did in terms of indigenous defense manufacturing. And therefore, you can see that defense manufacturing is today at almost 30,000 crore rupees, where we were importing everything from abroad. So significant push on technology development. You look at the space sector. Today we are the only one of the very few countries in the world that can do space docking.
Yeah.
And all aspects, space, defense. If you look in mobile manufacturing, today we are the world's #2 mobile manufacturer of the world. Electronic manufacturing. So every aspect in technology development, which is technology in order of the day, we all know that. And therefore, for new technology for India to really become Viksit Bharat, the foundation is technology, and that significant steps we are taking. If we look at Anusandhan National Research Foundation, we are committing more than 1 lakh crore rupees towards that, including private sector participation.
Correct.
Therefore, we are putting our focus, whether in National Quantum Mission, on Cyber Physical Mission, on Supercomputing Mission, on Green Hydrogen Mission, everywhere there is a significant push on the new technology development. And that is what I think is setting up a strong foundation for India to become Viksit Bharat.
Definitely. Professor, now we are talking about how technology is evolving in India. I would like to tell you that Prime Minister Modi also tried QR code enabled ticket vending machines there. You know, certainly goes on to show that how, like I was just mentioning, technology is evolving in the country and it's making life easier for the common people who are using public transports.
Absolutely. If you look at, for example, today, when you are living in a city, you can take up any public transport. Metro being one example. There can be another example in terms of your buses that can be electronic buses. For example, NCR region has RRTS, Rapid Regional Transport Service. There are many modes of transportation, and big focus in India is happening towards multimodal integration of these transport systems. Therefore, you will see that a passenger can have a QR code, and using the same app, he can buy the tickets, whether for metro, for bus, for rail, and for other aspects. And therefore, it has become, Delhi, for example, has taken a lead. They have also set up a Metropolitan Transportation Authority, unifying all the means of transportation. I think this is the order of the day. And both the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan as well as National Logistics Policy strongly pushing towards multimodal integration. When we create Vadhavan Port, our first green port, first new port, a greenfield port, at a cost of 76,200 crore rupees, we will have a big impetus on the maritime sector as well. Today in the airports, we are already 160 plus airports, and we are going to be 350 plus soon. Today, 5 lakh passengers take air travel every day. Therefore, there is a great need to unify. From passenger point of view, passengers are looking for great customer experience. They are looking for available, accessible, and affordable air travel, affordable travel by any means. From first mile connectivity to last mile connectivity is all that passengers are looking for, and ease of that. And I think that is the multimodal integration that Honorable Prime Minister is talking about, has been pushing strongly for, and that is the journey the country is now taking.
Definitely, and it also goes on to show, sir, that how India is growing, you know, in terms of technology, and that too manyfold.
Yes, in almost every aspect, if you can look at today, for example, you were talking of manufacturing. Today in India, of course, HL has been manufacturing aeroplanes and so on, but we also have now private sector participation. Tata Advanced Systems, along with Airbus, are manufacturing C-295 military transport aircraft right there in Vadodara, where Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya is located. They are doing H-125 helicopter manufacturing. So therefore, in all aspects, not only automotive, not only electronics, not only semiconductor, not only defense, all areas where India can make a big push through manufacturing is where the focus is happening, because manufacturing is an important area that will create jobs, and jobs are an integral part of Viksit Bharat.
Indeed. A while back, sir, you were mentioning Operation Sindoor. Operation Sindhur certainly has shown the world that India will no longer tolerate terrorism and will give befitting reply if anyone tries to create any sort of disturbance in the country. This is what Operation Sindhur has boldly shown. Prime Minister Modi said today that the state of Karnataka has contributed to success of Operation Sindhur. You know, he said success of the operation showed a new India to the entire world. And a major force behind the triumph was our indigenous technology, which also, on the other hand, is being widely appreciated. Everyone is now looking at India, and trying to fix a deal with India as far as made in India weapons are concerned. So how do you see this entire picture?
Yeah, we conveyed to the world after the 22nd April barbaric attack sponsored by Pakistan through Operation Sindoor. We gave three very important messages. Firstly, that every act of terror shall be swiftly responded to and very aggressively and determinately responded to. Second, India shall not tolerate nuclear blackmail anymore. And third, India will not differentiate. India shall not differentiate between terrorists and their sponsors. With that in mind, through Operation Sindoor, when you looked at India's air defense system could not be penetrated, whatever the kind of attacks, through drone attacks that Pakistan tried. So that was the superiority of India's air defense system. But on the other hand, India could strike deep within Pakistan, the 9 targeted places that we attacked. And we very clearly were telling from the day one that our attacks are non-escalatory in nature. So it was possible also if we could strike, for example, yesterday the Air Chief Marshal talked about an important part that one of the, perhaps the longest 300-kilometer surface to air kill was achieved by India through Operation Sindoor. This is not possible without indigenous technology.
Correct.
It's not possible without technology.
Definitely. And very quickly, sir, I'll not just talk about the development of the state of Karnataka itself, but I'll ask you about the overall, how do you see the overall development of India, in every sector, be it rail connectivity or be it technology, and also, the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his dedication, in giving focus to the development of the nation?
Of course, in last 11 years, as Prime Minister himself highlighted today, based on the reform, perform, transform, and I will also say inform mindset that the government has followed in terms of building a strong synergy between different players who are leading to the development sector. There is a tremendous push. And that we can see. Today, for example, we are building railway tracks at a rate of 15 km a day. Never happened earlier. We are building highways at a rate of 35 km a day. Today we are modernizing our railway stations, 1,308 of them through Bharat Station Redevelopment Plan. We are introducing new trains. Today you talked about 3 Vande Bharat trains that were flagged.
Yeah.
They are very, very important for our railways transformation. In aviation sector, there are tremendous reforms happening, not only in terms of the number of airports, but also in terms of how can we build the MRO facilities in India, which is important for maintenance, repair, and overhaul for the aviation sector, for us to have all the maintenance of aircrafts to be done in India. If we look at maritime sector, turnaround time at our ports, the 12 major ports that we have in India, has come down from 42 hours to 24 hours based on technology. So when our maritime port sector carries 90% of our international trade, and we are doing major efficiency improvement there, definitely lot more items that are going to be manufactured in India will need to be exported.
Definitely.
And our ports
and the nation
ready.
right now, sir, is also witnessing a significant development, when it comes to the country, with every sector, like I just mentioned, not just railway and connectivity, some other sectors as well, be it agriculture.
No, one important point I have to highlight.
Please.
That our GDP growth, our country's growth is not only in GDP, it is also in terms of ensuring dignity and opportunity for every individual, whether through Ujjwala scheme, whether through rooftop solar scheme, whether through Nal to Jal scheme. Social inclusion is an important part of our development growth story.
Correct.
And that is, I think, something we must be very proud of.
Really, the entire country is proud on that, sir. Thank you so much. It was wonderful having this conversation with you. Thank you so much. We leave it there.
Thank you, Siddharth.